the Silent Evil Podcast, survival horror podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm RJ.
And it's been a little bit of a while since the last time we did an episode. You know, let's see. God, what was the last? God, Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare was the last thing we did. So yeah, it has been some time. You know, some time without survival horror. Actually, because really now I think about it, every other game I played since then has not been anything close to a survival horror game for a while.
Yeah, that was a while ago. October?
Yeah, like the end of October.
Well, holidays and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm ashamed to say I did not play much Red Dead.
I still need to finish it. Other things would just keep coming in the way, and then
I'm not even chapter 3.
I don't know how much farther I am in that, but it's a long endeavor.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I say. Not like the game we're going to talk about today that you can just play over and over and over again, and it's always glorious, no matter how many times you play it. But since we knew that the new Resident Evil 2 remake was coming out, it's like, well, gotta go back in time and do the original Resident Evil 2, the classic, the 1998 amazing game that I've played so many times.
I know.
And then whenever I think about it too, it's like, I played that Leon disc so many times because I remember back in the day, like that was the only one we had was the Leon disc, didn't have the Claire disc. So played that Leon Scenario A one, like, I like to a point where like there was a period where I had to put a break for Resident Evil 2 for a bit and like had to play like anything but Resident Evil 2 because I played it so much.
Definitely played the Scenario A lot more than Scenario B.
A lot of times too is like sometimes you'd play through Scenario A and then when it came to B you're like, well, maybe I'm gonna go play another game now. Like, you know what I mean? You get that point like, let's throw Resident Evil 3 in or something. Let's, you know, you just kind of want to go down the list of games because even though the Scenario A and B thing's really cool, I mean they're not like radically different from each other. Like it's a brand new game. Like kind of, that's how they sort of felt like it sells it. Like when you read the booklet in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah. It is. You know, I mean, it is different in the sense that you see it from the other side. But I mean, I don't know. It's I have a preference for Scenario A, anyways. I think it flows better than Scenario B.
Well, Scenario B always takes a little bit longer. I feel like. And then you got Mr. X, of course.
Yeah, Mr. X is horrifying.
It's just always coming in.
Yeah, no,
the proto nemesis, pretty much.
He's not even like, you know, crazy looking scary. It's just the dead stare, the baldness, the grayness.
Man in a green trench coat, slowly walking towards you.
No, but I don't know. I like William. I like the William Birkin more than the Mr. X. So I just think William Birkin is just more scary for me, at least.
Well, William Birkin's like the ultimate classic villain of.
Yeah, well, like, you know, obviously he's like the main villain of the game, Mr. X. You know, he's like, you know, yeah, he's one of the game's villains, but he's like, you know, the secondary villain. Obviously, William Birkin is the mastermind. So I mean,
you don't technically get Mr. X without William Birkin.
Yeah, William Birkin is one of the main characters in the game entirely. So
puts everything together.
But I don't know. It's William Birkin. He's just, you know, sometimes he has speed and power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can kill you real quick if you towards his claw side, like I tend to do sometimes.
Now, in Resident Evil 2, there's nothing that kills you in one hit in this game, right?
No, I mean,
I didn't think because like I know Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 0 and I don't think Resident Evil 1 has anything that kills you like because that's always the worst thing is the one hit kill enemies. Like I always just think about like there's that Toad in Resident Evil 0 on the dam.
Yeah.
That part is like the most. I have like so much stress when you get to that point because I remember watching Rebecca get dragged across by this tongue sucking her in, and Billy just standing there not doing a damn thing.
Obviously, so I'm assuming you're talking about one hit kill you from fine. Like no.
Yeah, well, this one just slowly sucks you in, and if you get eaten by the Toad, that's it.
Yeah.
Or like because Resident Evil 3's got a bunch of things that can kill you in one hit. Like some of those hunters can chop your head off instantly, even if you're in fine. You shoot the barrel accidentally too close.
Yeah.
Did that once. The auto aim turned and it spun right towards the barrel, and I pulled the trigger. Boom!
Yeah.
Killed Jill instantly. Nemesis, he can hit you on the ground. That's the only thing is like I always hate when he can hit you on the ground and then pick you back up and then kill you right there. It's like, oh, let me at least be able to get back up.
So no, that's why you need to be in an open space, hopefully, when you fight him.
Yep, exactly. Just be able to dodge.
But I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything that can want to kill you. You know, I know the hunters do major damage if you're in fine with that jumping claw swipe. But
the lickers?
Yeah.
Oh, Resident Evil 1, the hunters. I got you.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the lickers.
Okay.
I think I said hunters by accident.
Okay.
Sorry. But yeah. No, lickers. No, like they'll like rear back and they jump at you from afar.
Yeah, well, I know they can totally, if you are in maybe like secondary caution.
I think they'll one hit kill you.
They maybe can, but
I think that's when they can chop your head off.
I don't know. Like I played through like on my like recent playthrough, I did I played it on like the normal mode, like technically the hard mode on the normal games. Though I never put this together, but they're on the Dreamcast version. They have like a nightmare difficulty and so on, like a way harder version. I'm like, oh what? Because I was playing on the Gamecube. That's always my favorite version. Controller for Resident Evil games on the Gamecube. Oh,
yeah,
such a classic.
Yeah,
but I didn't. It's like I've had that Dreamcast version. I never really. It was one of those ones where I more kind of bought it after I had it for like other systems. I was like, yeah, it's cool just for the collection. And I didn't think much of it. I'm like, I didn't realize that there's actually a hard difficulty on there.
I don't have a Dreamcast copy. I think I only have
you
one.
Have 3 on Dreamcast, don't you?
Yeah. I don't have 2 on GameCube either. I have it on PlayStation, of course. I have like the double disc where it's Leon's on the front of the disc and it's all red. And Claire's on the front of the other disc and it's all red. But
I got that one too.
I love that one.
But that was the first like, that copy right there. That was I thought about I think that was the very first mature rated game I ever got was Resident Evil 2. Like just including an MA13 game like on Sega Genesis or something.
Yeah.
Like pure straight MA17 mature game.
Mine, because I got Resident Evil 1 at the same time as my PlayStation, so mine was Resident Evil 1. But I played Resident Evil. I remember the first time I played Resident Evil 2.
That's all I remember too. I remember being like, it was almost like so frightening just to turn that game on. And I remember these are always the weird things too. And I think about this every single time I turn it on. But when you start the game, and the very first shot, and you got the scary tunes coming in, and then it shows that zombie from Resident Evil 1 looking up. I remember being a kid, like I tried to skip past that. I thought it was like so scary. Lo and behold, you're gonna get dropped into a city just filled with zombies storming, and destroying everything and whatnot. And what I like about that, though, too, I have to say, I love how the game just drops you into the city. Doesn't tell you how to play the game, just drops you in there. You figure it out.
Yeah, dude, I know. I remember I was at my friend Joey's house, and he had it for Dreamcast, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it, and I was like, "This is one of the best games I've ever played in my life." Holy shit! But I mean, I guess I thought that about the first 3 Resident Evils every time I played them. So
yeah.
But no, dude, that first when you first walk by that first window with the liquor, and it crawls across the window, yeah, you're just like, I don't think I want to go in the next room, but you gotta go in the next room.
You got it. But that's what I love. I love about Resident Evil 2 because I was thinking about this playing again. I'm like, it's one of those perfect examples because like how we mentioned Red Dead. Here's a perfect example. That new Red Dead game has like that long ass tutorial. Let's hold your hand. Let's put up a bunch of words on the screen and tell you how to do this game and so on. There's something so special when you get those games like Resident Evil 2 that just drops you in. You start the game up if once you get past that first cutscene, all of a sudden you're in there and it's like, let's say you've never played a Resident Evil game before. Let's say number 2 was your first one. You got to figure out the controls right then and there. There's zombies already coming towards you.
I know, and it's like
there's fire behind you.
It's not like there's one zombie. You run forward. There's like 2 or 3 upcoming. And it's and the camera angles are kind of fucked up at that part too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Resident Evil camera angles, but those particular ones in the beginning because you have to like move like forward is like sideways.
Yeah.
But it's just a messed up part. But.
Yeah, because it just drops you. But it teaches you, like in that whole city part, when you run through Raccoon City, it just like teaches you 100% like how to play this game, how it's going to go down. Never gives you a tutorial. Never has any word prompts saying like how to play it. There's always something special about that, I feel, in a game. When it doesn't need to hold your hand and it can just be like, no, you figure it out. If you don't, you'll die right here.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened to me in Resident Evil 1.
Yeah.
Dropped me in there and I got eaten by the first zombie I found.
Yep, and then you're hooked from that point on.
But, no, dude, the beginning of Resident Evil 2 is amazing. Just, dude, I felt like when I first played Resident Evil 2, I hadn't played Resident Evil 3 yet, so I played Resident Evil 2 and then just like running through the city, and then I was like, God, I wish there was more of like the city, but...
I've always felt that too. Like, that was always like, as a kid, that was my favorite part of the game. I thought that city part was so cool. I'm like, man, if you just stuck with the city part, I think that's the coolest thing ever. And I think that's why I have such a love for Resident Evil 3, because it gives you exactly that.
I know,
it's all city the whole way through, with a little bit of like weird mansions and hospitals and stuff you'll run into eventually.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get to the end, you're like on the outskirts, but just, dude, when you first get to the basketball court, you get the shotgun after
Yeah.
Poor Joe Kendo.
Kendo just
rest in peace. Oh man. Stop!
What are you doing?
Don't shoot! I'm a human!
Don't worry about that, darling.
Oh god. Big old glass fucking windows.
Yeah, I know exactly. They clearly aren't that sturdy. He cheapened out on that part. He didn't want the bulletproof glass.
I know, dude. I like playing as Claire because I do like getting the crossbow.
Well, there's something kind of cool about that because it's got all the neat features like when you shoot a crow and it sticks to the wall.
I know,
and it's
dude.
flapping like
I know, and like you know,
you have to get the zombies against the wall too. I kind of forgot about that, but like, oh yeah, you can shoot them against the wall.
Yeah, they like stumble backwards, kind of
get stuck on there.
Yeah,
there's something cool about that. Though I will say though, I think the best way to kind of play. I mean, granted, you go both ways, but I think going Claire A and then Leon B. is a lot better because the thing about Claire though is she has kind of shitty weapons when it comes to like Mr. X.
Yeah, dude, because the crossbow's useless at that point. Right?
No, it's like a step up from like the pistol almost.
Yeah, and
then the grenade launcher can sometimes be a pain in the ass. Like,
yeah,
it's like you get the flame rounds and they're great against zombies. And you got the acid rounds, which are good against like lickers, but if you shoot it over their head, sometimes
lickers are just hard to hit, dude. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. The grenade launcher, Resident Evil 2. The grenade is like the only Resident Evil game I was not like a big fan of the grenade launcher. I think because I love it.
It's like amazing in 1.
I love it in 3.
Yeah, well, I think because the thing is, I think it's the lickers just because it's that angle that you gotta shoot them at.
Yeah,
with that.
They're
and
just
then,
so low to the
and
ground.
then if you have the flame rounds, oh my god, the flame rounds are terrible against the lickers.
How do the flame rounds shoot in that game? Do they just?
They shoot out like a
okay.
Doken almost going across the room with a little bit of like a curve to it.
Yeah.
And then the grenade one just shoots out like all of like 3 feet and goes down. So that one's kind of that's not bad, but it's definitely not the same. Like Leon definitely gets the way more powerful weapons with the shotgun and the Magnum.
And the knife is just notoriously bad in Resident Evil 2. Oh my god.
And then it doesn't take 26 stabs to kill one zombie.
I think it's more than that. I think it was like 30 plus.
Wow. See, that's the thing is like. I've always felt in Resident Evil games, the knife should be like one of those ones. The knife should actually be more powerful than the handgun. It's just the fact that you got to go up close, and that's the danger of it.
And the problem with the knife in Resident Evil 2 is that you hit it on everything. I know, dude. Everything.
And that's what made Resident Evil 1, like the original one, great. Is because it could just slice through the wall.
Like Resident Evil 3, like you do that, but I think you have to be like closer to the wall or something like that for it to happen, and she has to do it in like her swing motion for it to happen, as opposed to like. But I don't know how Resident Evil 2 was just so bad. Yeah, I barely used it. And I try to use the knife in Resident Evil games too, so it's like.
It's funny because like there's certain games like Resident Evil 1, I'll use the knife in. And of course, Resident Evil 4, and from that point on, because they made the knife super easy to use. It's like part of I love that part because then it's like always whiff you on the left side. But yeah, like Resident Evil 2 and 3, I don't remember using. Well, yeah, 2 I learned really quickly that the knife.
3,
no, it's just
that's why I don't remember much 3 with the knife because I didn't use the knife too much in 3, just because 3 there's a lot of hordes of zombies coming at you, and then you're fighting Nemesis.
Yeah, the knife's not your friend.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to die.
Yeah, that's the point where it's like, no, you're better just dodging and running.
Yeah.
Dodge and run.
Yeah, but, I mean, Resident Evil 2 is just so bad. But, I mean, the fact that they give Leon shotgun in the beginning, or the crossbow in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just the wet sound the arrows make, the bolts make when they hit the zombies in the... Just makes me think of that ode I wrote in, like, what was that? 7th grade? 7th grade, I think we wrote, like, poems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote one about Resident Evil. I found it the other day, actually.
Nice. You hang it on the wall or something like that.
I know. It's hilarious. I'll have to try to find yours, dude. I know you wrote one, and I saw it in there because I saw your SSH.
my signature. I still keep that one around today. Nothing changes. Has like the KISS text on it.
Yeah. But, oh, dude. Once you get to the police station, though, it's horrifying because then you find Marvin right away.
I know, poor Marvin. You know what I mean? You get there, and if you're Leon, it's your first day on the job. I like how I was reading something, I think it was in the Resident Evil archives, and it had like the backstory of Leon. It was like, it was all this stuff. It's like, where was this information at? Like, it was like, talking about, like, you're Leon Kennedy, and the reason why you showed up late to work is because you were out last night partying, and then one of your girlfriends broke up with you, so you slept in. It's just like, what? I don't remember this. Did I ever send them the booklet? But apparently that's why Leon got there late. And then I was reading, like, there was those, like, comic books from, like, 1998. They had, like, Resident Evil 1 and 2, and, like, they have all kinds of other side stories in them. So much so that I'm like, this would actually be kind of fun for a future podcast episodes to do those Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 1 and 2 comics. But it has cool, neat side stuff. But when it went to like the Resident Evil 2, where it's just kind of normally, it was just made out like Leon's like, it's like he showed up, but he was prepared for, even though it's like not really his first day on the job, he was an expert already. It was like, what?
That sounds awesome.
But there was one, it was like a little short issue in there that I read where it was taking place like during the same time as kind of like Resident Evil 2 and everything. And it was about a guy at the zoo and all the animals there got infected. And I'm like, that right there should be a Resident Evil game. Is you're stuck at a zoo and now you gotta deal with all the infected animals.
You go to, I think, Outbreak 2? You go to like a zoo area?
Do they have that in Outbreak 2?
Yeah, I didn't play, I don't know, dude.
Remember Outbreak 1?
I have vague memories of Outbreak 2, but I'm pretty sure you fight like an elephant thing, I think.
Really? That sounds amazing.
So.
Because that's always one of my favorite things about the Resident Evil is when they had like more animal creatures. And as time went on, animals went farther and farther away unless you're a dog.
I can't remember Outbreak 2 all that well, so, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. But I'm pretty sure you do. But I don't know, dude. After you find Marvin, he puts a gun to your head, kicks you out of the room, and then you can go discover the liquor.
Funny, in the comic book that Marvin said, he's like, you put a gun, he says, you put that gun to my head and you blow my brains out, you do it! And I was like, oh god, Marvin's going down.
I don't know, dude, I remember when I first played the Resident Evil 2, dude, it took me forever to figure out where to go in the beginning.
Like, well, that's always, like, especially in the olden days, pre, like, anybody had internet, if you didn't have the strategy guide, you literally just ran around aimlessly all night long.
Yeah, exactly. But, no, dude, with, like, the unicorn medal, I did not think to go find the diary on the desk in the STARS office to find the unicorn medal underneath it.
Well, no, the diary one, that's Resident Evil 3.
Oh, yeah, god dang it.
Because you don't open any, for some reason, that's, like, one of those weird things, is, like, in Resident Evil 1, they have such, like, interactive, like, items that you get where you gotta, like, look at them and turn them and open them up and do that. And Resident Evil 2 has none of that. It's like, nope, we're done with that.
Yeah, no, I remember now.
And then it comes back in 3.
Yeah, no, I remember now. But, I don't know, finding all the Resident Evil 2 made it a little easier, just because, like, with Resident Evil 1, you had to, like, figure out which key you had by examining it. Resident Evil 2, you could just really just look at the key, and it.
Well, yeah, because they have the shapes of, like, the
diamond
cards. I mean, you had to examine them if you wanted to know what they were. I never did. Just kind of go,
exactly. I mean,
precinct key.
You just look at it.
Got the precinct key. Who cares? We'll figure out which door it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because in my playing through again, for the most part, like, there'd be every once in a while you get kind of, like, slightly turned around. But, like, be like, nope, I know where I'm going to go now. It's like, if I got turned around at one point, I knew exactly where I needed to go next. I never got that lost feeling. Because it's been a while, because I just remember playing that as a kid. And you just get that certain point, like, you'd be in the police station and be like, what do we do next? And, and you'd be spending, like, an entire weekend trying to figure this out. And now you've ran out of ammo by this point because you've just blown it all and so on.
I know, dude. I love that game, though. It was, I think, like I said, dude, William Birkin really makes that game for me. All his forms make that game for me. His last form, I don't know. I always have a tough time with his freaking dog form.
That dog, I know, I thought that was a pain in the ass too again.
Dude, somehow I always get caught up in his stupid ass, he can, like, knock you down, and then if you're in, like, a certain spot somewhere, he can, like, spam it on you, dude, and you can't get back up. You can't get back up, and, dude, I always get caught in that at some point, and I don't know, it's, like, part's usually a pivotal moment, and I don't like dying at that part and having to run back and refight,
Yeah, well, I actually, when I was playing as Claire, I saved right beforehand. I'm glad I kind of... Well, I just went kind of ballsy. Because sometimes once you save, then you don't really worry. You're like, whatever. But,
I don't know why I always run to that spot without saving just beforehand, because, I don't know if I just...
Claire is just one of those ones, like... See, like, with Leon, I don't really worry, because Leon just, like, takes abuse like nobody's business. But Claire is a little bit, like, you gotta be a little bit, like, careful with her. You know? You know what's a weird thing, though? Is, like, this sounds weird, but I was playing just recently, before you came over, the Extreme Battle Mode. And I was playing with Ada. I'm like, dude, Ada takes damage like nobody's business, too. Like,
oh, my God,
dude. I got attacked by, like, 6 things, and I was still in fine. I was like, what?
I haven't played the Extreme Battle Mode for so long.
Well, it was weird because I unlocked it when I beat, like, Scenario B, but for some reason I thought I could have swore, at least maybe in the PlayStation version, that you had to play the game like 3 times through to unlock Extreme Battle Mode. But on the GameCube one, I was like, what?
It wouldn't surprise me if they made it
maybe easy, because I was kind of weird, like, why have to play this game 3 times over?
Like, beat both scenarios, you know, on the GameCube version. It wouldn't surprise me if they made it that way.
Yeah, I just, for some reason, it was kind of weird. I was like, oh, Extreme Battle Mode, what do you know?
Dude, one of the scenes that comes to mind always with Resident Evil 2 is the jail cell scene, where you find the
reporter?
The reporter guy, yeah.
He's like, I'll lock myself in here, I ain't fucking leaving.
Yeah. Karma, bitch.
That's what happens. Like, well, all those characters, too, because it's like the whole point is like, you know, Leon and Claire, like, we gotta get out of here, we're gonna meet the police station, find any survivors, and so on. Everybody you kind of find, generally, is like, whatever, I'm not leaving.
Oh, my chest! It's burning!
And then you just get that classic, like, especially the first time you ever see the game, when, like, you're just kind of outside the room, you just hear that, Roar! And you're like, oh, what do I have to go fight in there next?
I know, dude. And then, I like how when that thing bursts out of the chest, they just back up and just watch it run by. They're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah, we probably should have stepped on that.
But, yeah, or shot it or something, you know? But,
yeah, just let that thing run free.
I know, dude. Actually, I hate that part of the game because that's the kennel part. With the dogs are down there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I learned a valuable lesson too. In Extreme Battle Mode, there's no reason for you to go down that direction. There ain't nothing down there for you.
Yeah.
I went down there and murdered everything down there to realize there was no bombs.
There's in the Mercenaries mode, Resident Evil 3, you find that out about a couple of routes in Mercenaries.
Yeah, just like
there's things that way.
There's items.
They're not worth getting.
Yeah, there's items and a whole lot of other crap you gotta battle down there, like 2 Mr. X's.
Oh my God.
In the same room.
Yeah, see. But, I don't know, dude. I hate that kennel part. The dogs always scare me.
I know. And it's always that weird thing, too, where it's like, you never have a great angle to see those dogs. You just kind of, you want to try to find that place where they run towards you, because once you get them running, they'll all come at you. But right there, yeah. When you go down there. It's funny, because the thing I thought, too, is when I was playing the game, is, you know, really the majority of the game is the police station, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, once you got to the sewer, I used to always think the sewer was, you know, not maybe as long as the police station, but still a good length. But the sewer is super short.
Yeah, the sewer goes quick.
It takes like no time at all.
Once you get to like the lab, it goes fast. Or like the
especially the lab on the round A. It's a little bit longer in round B because that's where they got kind of like the extra scenes and everything starts to happen there, and you got some of those other areas you never saw before.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, I don't know, dude. The lab always goes quick for me. Plus, I mean, I don't know. Now it goes even faster because I just, like, you know, there are some rooms that you don't really have to mess around too much in. Like, there's a couple of ivy, like, I think there's 1 or 2 rooms with those poison ivies in there.
Yeah, there's a couple
that,
rooms.
Like,
you know, there's like herbs. Ammo or something in them, but
yeah, I think one of them has like blue herbs in the corner or some crap like that, and then it has like you know, a couple of other things there, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, whenever this is kind of like those rooms where it's like, why is there nothing here? Like, I feel like there should be something really here. Like, here's an example of an area where I'm always surprised that there's nothing there because it has like its own like camera angle and everything for it. But it really is like no reason for you to go there. Is okay, like almost on scenario B when you're coming in the back way. You know, and you go through the courthouse or whatnot, and then there's that area before you get to the stairs going up to the helicopter that's burnt. When you go down the stairs into the back there's just a camera angle there, but there's nothing in that area. It's like, it's just, why?
Exactly.
I mean, maybe that's just like the horror aspect, is it makes you question, like, why is this here?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
What's this all about?
Hands down, my favorite cutscene in that whole game, though, is once you find Annette, and she shoots Leon. Leon passes out, and then she starts telling Ada the story, and then, like, you jump into, like, the CGI cutscene.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, you know... And,
when you know, Hunk and his whole crew's going down there,
like,
we're gonna get down there and get the vaccine!
It's one of my favorite cutscenes in all of Resident Evils.
Yeah.
So, but, dude, that part's so badass.
They're like, there's William Birkin, shoot him!
And Annette. she got what she had coming.
She did. Can't trust her.
Or Ada.
I know. Ada's always, well, she's like a bad person that you feel sorry for, sort of.
I wish they shed a little bit more light on how she survives the fall.
Well, the fall, if you do that, and then I kind of forgot, like, because in scenario B, what happens to her? God, she gets stabbed by Mr. X or something like that. Oh, I like how I played this like 3 days ago, and I'm already kind of spacing out on what happens there. But then it kind of has that like scene where like Leon's holding her, and they have like a kissing moment, like on PlayStation 1, and and then it's like he like kind of just like leaves her there. It's like, oh, she died, but then later on she's the one that tosses the rocket launcher down to him, or it's a silhouette of her. Let's say that.
Yeah. I know. See, so and then obviously playing Resident Evil 4, she survives.
Yeah, she comes on back.
But I don't know. That was a long fall. Leon was very upset.
Yeah. Ada!
No. No.
For the longest time, I used to remember it like way more dramatic. I don't know what it is. I used to always do the Ada! No. But it's like,
it's the dropping to his knees part that makes it dramatic for me.
I think that's what it is, because the drop to the knees goes so slow, so I want to make the no like...
He like puts his hands on his head.
No. You know what I think is always an interesting character is when you go like the Claire side, though, and you gotta see Chief Irons.
Oh, dude, I know. Actually, that's a character that I wish they put into the A. I mean, I kind of see why they didn't, but I feel like they could have fit Chief Irons into the A side somewhere.
Well, I think it's kind of... Oh, you mean like the Leon side?
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Just like... Resident Evil, like...
I just call it the A side because I mostly play Leon and I mostly play the A version, so...
But you know what's always get funny? Because mostly, like with Resident Evil 1, I notice a lot of times I more gravitate towards Jill in that one instead of Chris.
Yeah,
it's weird how it's like I gravitate to this one the other way around.
I prefer Jill and I prefer Leon.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's kind of the other way around, where like in Resident Evil 1, like Chris is kind of the harder mode, Jill's a little bit of the easier mode, not by much, but just a little bit. Where I feel in this one, I think that like Leon's a little bit more of the easier mode, the little bit more fluid one, and Claire's a little bit more of the challenge.
Yeah, Chris, he's a challenge in Resident Evil 1 because he has less items, but on the flip side, he takes more damage.
He takes more damage, and he can just like power through a lot more stuff.
And like, pretty sure. I think Leon takes more. I think they have a set.
Yeah, Leon's definitely way stronger. That's the thing. Because Claire has that kind of... It's like old-fashioned. It's a woman. It's the 90s. She's going to die easier.
Dude, I always... Somehow, I feel like every time I play that goddamn Resident Evil 2, I end up in the lab, in, like, danger, fearing for my life that I'm going to run into, like, a licker. And, I'm just like...
And then they got the super lickers when you get to that.
Yeah, and you're, like, limping along. You're not exactly moving fast.
Nope.
So...
I've seen too many bad moments, like, where someone... goes all the way to the lab, finds one of those liquors, is in danger, hasn't saved.
Poor Kyle.
Yep. Oh,
Poor Kyle.
Just gets killed right then and there. That's why it's like, I've kind of learned it's like, I'll save about halfway through. A lot of times when I get to the sewer, I'll save right there. Because it just makes it a better experience, and I realize that, like, it doesn't... I think before, I used to have this idea that it affected, like, your game rating at the end. But the saving only does if you save, like, I think you gotta save, like, a lot of times.
I think it's like 7.
Yeah, like something, like, you would never do that many anyways.
I think if you hit 7, then you lose it's like whatever their point system is.
Yeah, you lose 1 point.
Yeah, say it's like on a 1-point system, yeah, you lose, like, a point towards your rating. But,
yeah. Because I think the only two things that affect it, really, is, like, or is your time, your saves if you go ridiculous, but realistically, let's just minus that one out. And then the first aid sprays for some dumb reason.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know why that is.
Any Resident Evil game...
The first aid sprays are always like last resort.
Yeah, dude, and it's just not wise to not save in any Resident Evil game, because even if you tried to not save, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done it.
Yeah, well, I've done
it. Paid the price for doing it.
I've done it, and we've all been there where you get 3/4 of the game and you die, and it's almost just that experience is just not worth it, because that's the thing, is that will instantly burn you out, and you'd be like, nope, I don't want to do this again.
Problem, I mean, Resident Evil 1, the issue is the chimeras at the end for me every time. Like, those are my biggest one-hit kills in Resident Evil 1 are the chimeras.
Really?
They just always get me, dude, from the top.
I
don't know why, dude, and then, like, they drop down, they chase after me, but yeah, they always get me from the top. Huh. I don't know why, but,
Well, it's like, in Resident Evil 1, on the remake, I always think that the ideal place to save at, that's generally just good to do, is right before you have to fight Lisa Trevor. Because the main thing is because she can always do that, like, dude, and then, like, knock you off the edge. And, and that's always the one where you're like, when you get knocked off the edge, it's like, I'm not even...
dude, that's the stupidest death, dude. I hate it.
So I always feel like that's the one place that, like, if you are going to, like, not really save, do it like that.
Yeah, dude, like, with Lisa Trevor, it's always worth it to just be patient. Take a couple shots, run. Take a couple shots, run. Yep. Don't try to like push a couple extra shots. You know, don't try to
push one block, shoot her a couple times. Push the other block, shoot her a couple. It's like I don't know. When you get a little bit too antsy, that's when you get killed.
If you save
or Barry gets pushed off the edge, or
if you save your ammo for that part and you just take the time and stun her, you know, with like some good weapons or something like that, it's worth it for sure.
But yeah, we're talking about Chief Irons.
That's
right. I just always think that's a cool part because you go in there and here's the chief and he's just sitting around with all these paintings and he's got all these like taxidermy animals and everything. And there's just a dead woman on his desk.
I know, fucking Chief
like
Irons.
Not even like a big deal. And at first you're kind of like, oh shit, maybe she's infected. And then you go like, wait a second, look at that wound there.
Oh, it's like on her stomach or something like that.
Yeah, like in the gut or something. Yeah. And then once I love when you find his memo or whatever because it's just like. He's like, yeah, I was told, to make sure to keep everything in order here for, once Umbrella kind of goes out of control and, the infection goes loose. But he's like, I decided to take it in my own hands, and I went down to put these guys out of their misery. And I saw, Bob the police officer, and I shot him cold and watched him bleed out as his eyes looked at me.
Fucking Chief Irons, man.
And then it's like, even you find that other note to where it's like, yeah, when he was in, college, he, was accused of raping women.
I know.
They really make him out like a supervillain. And he got $10,000 for, covering up the Stars incident.
He played a decently pivotal part in the story, obviously,
Well, how is it that area looks cool? I think that's one of that part, when you go there and he's got this back room and everything like that. That reminds me of Resident Evil 1. I don't know, it has that kind of look to it because it's almost like you're in a mansion though you're in the police station. It's got the weird kind of designs and the artwork, and he's got the lion in that one room, or I guess not the lion, it's a tiger, and everything like that.
Yeah.
You go to that one place, too, where you see, Sherry around the corner. It's like, Sherry!
Oh, fucking Sherry.
Well, you know what I hate when, Claire, though, is when, you have Sherry following you, and then she just, you go a little too fast, and then she just squats down. It's like, don't squat down, just follow me, damn it.
Oh, dude. And then she always... It's like she gets scared and then she books it. It's like, are you dumb, child?
Yeah, what are you doing?
But, I don't know. Sherry, not a big fan of Sherry, really, to be honest. But, obviously, I know she's
a little 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I will say, I like Sherry. When they put Sherry in Resident Evil 6 and it was a comeback, I'm like, that's cool. See, there you go. Having Sherry come back, why not?
Sherry's way better than Ashley from Resident Evil 4.
Well, yeah, Ashley's...
Yeah. Words can't even explain.
You gotta say the president's daughter.
I know, dude.
I know you're a rookie cop at one point, but now you've been thrown to a war, boy.
I remember in Resident Evil 2, first time I got to the alligator.
Oh, the alligator's one of the coolest bosses. Even though once you play the game a bunch of times, it's like...
When I first played the game, obviously I did not realize the tank.
No, nobody does.
So it's like you just run back and you're just shooting.
I'm like, oh god,
shooting.
Hope he's gonna die.
Yeah, shooting. But yeah, and then obviously once you realize the tank's right there.
Yeah.
And then goodbye head.
Yeah, blow it off, blow the top part off at least.
Oh, trying to.
It's kind of weird because I forgot that you don't battle the alligator though in the scenario B. You just run through that area. It's like, how about that?
Oh, it's the alligator's one of the best parts, even though it goes quick. It's just awesome.
It's such a cool villain, and I just love those kind of animal. I don't know, the animal villains. I think are one of the coolest thing in Resident Evil, and I don't know why you just don't get enough of them in the games.
Oh, I mean, I guess liquors. Then you run into the moths. There's
there's that one moth that you can just go in there and just murder.
Yeah.
Can that moth? I mean, I bet you if you stayed there long enough, that moth could.
Pretty sure I've had it lay eggs on me.
Yeah, that's what it does. And then they hatch and they're like,
yeah, and it's like, but yeah.
I remember for the longest time too, because I think when I only had the Leon disc, I'm like, what the hell does this room do? You put the guest in, it doesn't make any sense. It's just like, oh no, it's for the second file.
Dude, to be honest, one of my most hated enemies to fight in that whole game are the poison ivies.
Yeah, they take so many bullets too compared to everything else.
Such a pain in the ass.
And they just sit there shooting their acid at you. And then you run by and they got like the ass whip attack that just comes out. And you're like, God, it doesn't really do anything, but it just pisses me off.
Oh my god.
And it's funny, like the extreme battle mode, it's like those ivies are like everywhere they put in there. It's like, well, so many of these ivy things here. I mean, really, they're not that bad of a creature because they really don't do a whole lot of damage to you. I mean, I guess they could, but it's like, oh, there's another one of those bastards.
I know, dude.
See, that's probably where Claire's flame rounds come in handy, is with the ivies.
Exactly, I know.
That's
usually
like,
what I save them for, actually.
That's the one spot. Well, they work great on the zombies, too, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, like, you know, who's going to save all their flame rounds for the end of the game like that? Come on.
No, yeah.
Look at what you're running into up to that point, you know, so... It
was funny, when I was looking at just the different versions of Resident Evil 2, and then when I ran across them, like, the Dreamcast has a nightmare mode, it was like, I saw that's like, no zombie gets killed with one grenade shot. You have to shoot 2 grenades at him to kill him. Doesn't matter which round it is.
What the?
It's terrible.
That sounds horrifying. That sounds terrible.
It sounds like, well, I guess I'm running past a lot of enemies then.
Yeah, that sounds frustrating. And I imagine you die quick.
Yeah, you got way more damage. The enemies take more damage.
I would think one hit kill from most enemies. I would imagine would be a nightmare mode.
Yeah, I think there might be with the lickers and so on like that. Or at least you probably can instantly go to, like, danger.
Yeah, one bite from a zombie puts you in danger, maybe.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of like, that's... It's interesting, just like the little differences between all the games. You know, it's like kind of like the N64 version. I always said, like, there's something special about that 64 one. I've always loved that one. You know, I mean, it's like, it's not really the most prettiest looking out of them all. You know, the CG, the cutscenes, you know, are definitely like compressed, but at the same time, it's just so cool to have that game on the 64. And, you know, it's still Resident Evil 2 at the end of the day, but my favorite feature is I love how you can make the blood, like, blue in it. Just for... you know, it's like, why not? You know what I mean? It's just kind of cool. I don't know. They have, like, the violence high, medium, low. It's like, oh, I'm not going to... High. Like, I don't know. It's blasphemy to have the violence low, but but changing the blood to blue is just kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the playing as, like, Sherry Ada part in that game.
The Sherry part's almost better than the Ada part, ironically, because it's like the... Well, I don't know. Yeah, those were always kind of those...
I just felt like the parts were just... They felt a little forced, I guess, because it's not very long. You know, and you don't really do that much.
Well, I think it's the classic fear that you're like, oh shit, you just gave me a character that has none of my items in it now, and like they only got one healing item and like a gun that has no extra ammo.
Sherry's scary because she has nothing.
But the upside, the thing I learned is like the only thing is the zombies, all they do is barf, so as long as you never stop, they can't get you.
Keep running by.
You know, it's more like a fear thing, but then you realize it's kind of like you're sort of safe. It's not as bad as like the part like, let's say Resident Evil 4, where you got to play as Ashley, and you know, there's that part where you got to kind of flip the switches and go through the areas, and you got to chuck the only thing you can do is you can chuck the candles at like the guys coming at you, and then you got to try to go and crank the switch.
Oh my god, yeah.
And as you're cranking the switch, you can't see anything, and then hopefully there's nobody coming at you, but you don't really know, so you keep tapping A.
I haven't played that game for so long.
That's another one, like Resident Evil 2. I've played that game so many times over. But really, all the Resident Evils, like I think about it, like there's not a single game out there that I've played as many times over.
I think on my Gamecube memory card, the last number I remember seeing on Resident Evil 4 was 47. My 47th time. So I mean, you know, put a lot of time into that game.
I know, and now they're coming out like with the Switch version of it.
Oh.
And it's like gonna have the motion controls like the Wii one. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I need to get a Switch at some point.
And they're putting Resident Evil 0 and the remake on there. So that means you can use the GameCube controller because the Smash Brothers thing like allowed the GameCube to use on anything. I'm so excited. Because I've been literally looking for the PS4. I'm like, God, is there a GameCube converter we can buy that like I can plug a GameCube controller into the PS4? I know that sounds very like odd, but you know what's missing on these Resident Evil games? Let me tell you, the GameCube controller.
Yeah, see, I have the Resident Evils 1, 2, 3, and 4 on my PlayStation. And I really enjoy the PlayStation controller, you know? Just because it's like my native for it. So.
It's weird. It's like after the GameCube, because I know it's like the original way to play it is, you know, on PlayStation, but I don't know, that GameCube controller for
I like the GameCube controller too, but I like the PlayStation controller as well. I like them both equally, probably.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, dude. One of the things that separated Resident Evil 2 from the rest of the Resident Evils is Marvin turning into a zombie.
Yeah, because it was the first time you ever got to see somebody just turn into a zombie on screen.
I know, exactly. I mean, it's kind of anticlimactic. He's just like, all of a sudden his face kind of just changes.
The character turns kind of blue, like Dawn of the Dead style.
Yeah, I think he gets like a couple like extra veins looking in his forehead.
Yeah.
It's kind of like deathly looking. And isn't he, is it in 2 or 3 that he's stronger when you find, no, 3's already dead.
Yeah, I don't think you find Marvin in 3, dude.
You find Marvin in 3, but he's dead holding like a note.
That's right.
But in 2, I think he's a stronger zombie in 2.
He might be a little bit.
I think, yeah, he can take a little bit more damage than the other zombies, but I'm trying to remember. I think so, but I guess it doesn't matter really, but
yeah.
No, that part is I remember when when I was over at Joey's house the first time I played, he's like, dude, later on in the game you get to see someone turn to zombie. I was like, what?
So amazing.
I was like, that's fucking crazy.
See, those little things that like nobody would think of nowadays, but that was a big deal.
I know, dude. It was crazy. Yeah, Joey Sharp's house was actually the first place I played Resident Evil 2 at.
Yeah, I know, because there was always somebody who had it. Was kind of like Resident Evil's like, it was like there was a gateway friend who had it. Like Thomas Giacchetta, he had Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
And he brought it over, and that's where I just remember like, oh god, what we getting into? Like,
yeah.
This is something different.
Yeah.
It's dark, it's scary.
Josh was the one who brought me to Resident Evil 2 1.
Yeah, there's always just those things like that, just getting addicted to it and getting hooked up.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm so excited for Resident Evil 2 to come out, though.
I know.
Oh my god, dude.
I feel like once we get there, we'll have a big old fat podcast to talk about all the great things of that new Resident Evil 2 and see what it's like.
I know, dude. I mean, I know what we're about to talk about now is just all speculation because I'm pretty much going in blind. I haven't watched shit.
Yeah, well, it's like, if I know I'm going to get a game, I don't really
talked about it because now I remember that freaking demo comes out today and it's just gonna be so hard for me not to download it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For me, it's those ones. If I know I'm gonna get a game, I could care less about it. I don't need to see anything about it. I don't need to hear anything about it. Like I'm already sold in a sense.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't really like mind watching like trailers and stuff like that. But with Resident Evil 2, dude, I just tried to not watch anything.
Yeah, it's just like.
There was that one like 10-minute gameplay video I watched, dude, but I watched like 30 seconds within the first 5 minutes. I watched 30 seconds around the 10-minute mark, and then I watched 30 seconds like somewhere else in between. But I tried to do it in 30-second increments just so I could see a little bit, kind of like, dip in a little bit, see what's going on with it.
All I wanted to see when they originally had those trailers, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't in first person like Resident Evil 7. That was my only thing. I'm like, please don't be like in the Resident Evil 7 engine.
Yeah, dude, the E3 reveal trailer was awesome.
And then once I saw that it was just, okay, you're in the Resident Evil 4 style? Perfect, I'm fine with that. I love the Resident Evil 4 style, I'm fine. I mean, if you would have had camera angles, Yeah,
it would have been better, but I'll take the Resident Evil 4 style. But, dude, the E3 reveal trailer, dude. I almost fainted. I could have cried. I screamed. I was so excited.
It's one of those ones you just some of those things you just don't expect to ever really happen, and then they finally kind of do.
When because that trailer starts out with like the rat.
Yeah, well, that was part 2 because it was like, why is this in first person? Like, I don't like this first person. Is it gonna be Resident Evil 7?
Yeah, I know. And then you realize, poor rat's just a patsy.
Yeah, just to lead you in. I think that's what they want. They wanted you to kind of come into that thinking that was going to be what it was, and then okay, no, it's a normal style or a modern normal style Resident Evil game.
Oh my god, everything I have seen on Resident Evil 2 though looks incredible.
Yeah,
every little bit.
It's one of the ones, but it's just like playing the classic Resident Evil again. Like whenever I go back and play Resident Evil 2 or any of those ones, like to me, once again, they always hold up. Like, and in fact, I feel like they almost get better with age. I know like there'd be people tell you differently that. Like, oh, no way, those games, like, tank controls are stupid, like the camera angles, and all that stuff. I mean, like, granted, that's been there forever, because this is something that people kind of forget, because nowadays it's funny, because people get to the point where, like, some people want that old survival horror back, but it's like, you remember in, like, the early 2000s, like, Resident Evil was, like, so, like, looked down upon, and Silent Hill was looked down upon, because, like, whenever people, like, they're like, oh, it's got camera angles in it again, and they're doing, like, the tank controls, stupid, and it's just, like... people like hated those games like a passion, and it's like, I mean, that's like most things, there's always that period where people like they love them, and then all of a sudden they turn on them, and then next thing you know they go on to something else.
Yeah, dude, I know. a lot of people I knew were just against the camera angles in the first place. So
I love the camera angle. That to me is like, whenever I see a game that has that in there, I'm like, I'm already sold. I don't know what this game's about, but if it's got camera angles, tank controls, and pre-rendered backgrounds, I'm there. It's the best to me. You know what's the other thing that's kind of interesting too? I was thinking about too is like on the N64 one, they got those EX files. You remember those ones you pick up? They're kind of just like extra ones. I think it's mainly to make up for like at a time period where it's like you don't get Resident Evil 1, so it gives you kind of like more story from the first game. / it even went into giving you story parts for like 0 coming up because at that point they were planning on having it for the N64.
I know Josh had Resident Evil 2 for 64, and that's where we beat it a few times on 64, but I can't say I specifically recall picking up those files.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about them. I was like, oh yeah, there were just things I was looking them up. I was like, oh yeah, there was these extra neat little files in there. They're not, of course, they're not in the Resident Evil Archives file. Like that book right there doesn't even say that the N64 version exists for some reason.
How much longer did the 64 version come out after the PlayStation version?
Probably a year later.
Okay.
I think it came out in '99, maybe.
Okay.
Because it was like a little bit later. And it's all like they didn't have a Sega Saturn version or anything like that, so
yeah.
I guess because you have the Dreamcast coming out not that far away, so it was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. Poor Dreamcast. Rest in peace.
The Dreamcast has something like I love Resident Evil 3 on the Dreamcast as well too. I mean, I like it on the Gamecube too. The Gamecube's definitely the best looking of them all, but
the VMUs, man.
But that VMU is always so cool.
It's so awesome.
You get your ammo on there. You got your health displayed. Like that was like one of those great features. I'm surprised it's never really stuck around. Like I'm surprised that like even like on like the newer systems that they never thought to like, hey, let's just put a little extra like screen in here.
It is just so nice to not have to go to your
menu every single time.
Inventory and crap like that to look at your health.
And that's why I always say like with the Resident Evil DS remake one or like that remastered one. It's so cool just being able to have not only your map on the bottom, have your health, have your item, or, I think it says your ammo on there as well, too. I know you still can go to the menu, but, like, there's something so cool about having that all right there. Like, Resident Evil is so made for, like, a dual screen. And I'm always so bummed that they never put 2 and 3 on the DS. Or even the 3DS. They could have done it then, too. Like, why not?
Dude. I really wish I had, I could have 2 and 3 on, like, portable.
Yeah. I mean, you get them on PSP, technically. You get the PlayStation versions on there. And that's cool. But if it was on the DS, like in that same style as like the Resident Evil DS was, oh, that'd be amazing. Having that double screen,
dude.
Especially being able to have the knife just handy like that and being able to reload manually.
I know the first time the VMU, dude, when I played at Code Veronica over here, I was like, this is so fucking cool.
It is. It's one of those ones where you got like the eye poking up at you and everything like that, and little graphics and everything like that.
Wow.
Small things you take for granted, but are so nice to have.
Dreamcast was ahead of its time.
Oh, it so was. There was just nothing but good times there. And Resident Evil was always great on the Dreamcast.
Yes.
Even with things like Dino Crisis and all that good stuff. Like, because it's just that, like, it's kind of like the GameCube one. I know how people complain about, like, when Resident Evil 2 and 3 and all that stuff are ported to there. And they're like, oh, they didn't change them like they did with Resident Evil 1. But at the end of the day, though, it's like, I don't you know what? They might not be totally changed, but they're just that much slicker looking versions, They're just that much smoother.
Yep. I know, dude.
To the point that it does make it kind of nice. And then you also had, like, do you remember that Gamecube? Like, the handheld version of Resident Evil 2? From the Tiger Electronics? Like, the original, like, touchscreen handheld device?
Trying to remember that.
And I was like, it actually looked kind of cool. It kind of looked like a regular, a little bit more advanced Game Boy game.
Maybe I'd have to look at it to jog.
Yeah, I feel like it would jog your memory if you see it. It's like one of those things was just like a very like wanted item for any Resident Evil fan to have that cool Gamecube thing. But it's just more like an interesting, like, oh, they made that. And I think Tiger Electronics actually has like, like the old fashioned like single games that would just have like the little cheap black and white screen, kind of like that Batman one I got over there. Yeah. They have the Resident Evil 2 one, which is just like, that'd be cool to have one of these days, just for the collection. Why not? Because that would have came out and would have bypassed that and then never saw it again.
Probably impossible to find now.
Yeah, but it's probably expensive too, because a lot of those things like hold value pretty darn well. But yeah, it's just going back and playing Resident Evil 2.
It's always a classic.
Always fun, you know what I mean? It's really like one of those ones. I know some people think that's their ultimate favorite Resident Evil, and it's not my favorite Resident Evil, but it's damn near close.
And I mean,
I don't like as much as 1 and 3. That's the thing.
No, I was literally saying, like, no offense to Resident Evil 2. I do love Resident Evil 2, but I mean, out of like those first Golden 3, it's definitely the one I beat the least.
Oddly enough, I've beaten that one more than I've probably beaten like Resident Evil 3.
I've beaten 1 more than 2, and I've beaten 3 a lot more than 2.
I think it's just because I think Resident Evil 2, I don't know why I played that one way more than all the other ones, but just that golden age period of Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, Code Veronica, and 0. So good.
Wow. So fun, dude. It'll always go down as a genuine classic. Like, dude, I'm so excited for the new one in a few weeks. It's starting to hit me. After we talked about it the other day, and then I started, like, I've been thinking about it ever since then. I can't fucking wait to play it.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, too, I want to play that 1.5, and we'll do a little podcast. I felt like, because that's almost like, I know it's not like a complete game, but it's almost like a topic in itself. So I was like, well, there's no reason to do it on this podcast, but we should do one devoted to the 1.5, like the proto Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Where they just got 80% through the game and said, scrap it, let's start again. You know, keep that Leon guy.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else, toss it out.
I know. We'll definitely have to play through that at some point too.
Because that's just such a weird idea that like, oh wow, you had this complete game and you decided to toss it out and come on back, you know, and just start from scratch and let's do another game. You know, why not?
I was finally able to put in my pre-order for Resident Evil 2.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I got on PlayStation. I got the $70.
I think that's the one I got too, like the midway version or whatever.
It's like the deluxe.
Yeah.
They call it like the deluxe version or some crap.
It's like whatever, I'll just get that one. Whatever that comes with, give me that. That's fine. You know, I'll take that one.
I know. I got a really cool theme with it too for my PlayStation.
Oh, because you got it on PlayStation Network.
Yeah, dude.
See, that's cool. I like getting those themes.
Actually, yeah. It had Actually, I took a picture of it so I could show it to you.
Nice.
It has like all like the sound effects kind of when you move the menu and stuff like that, and then
well, that's like because I have the theme for Resident Evil the remake and 0, or maybe it's the 0 one came with the theme.
Yeah, and that's what
oh, that's really bad.
Yeah, that's what the top one looks like. Like when you're up at the top, like at the top part of the menu, and then when you go down to the bottom,
it's got cool.
You get like this zombie teeth and shit like that.
Oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, dude, I got it and I was like, yes. This is why I love getting games digitally. Because every time I bought a game digitally, you know, I get hella badass cool like themes and shit like that.
So at least they kind of make up for that for like not being able to get it physical and have the disc. And so
yeah, at least you get like, you know, something.
Some kind of reward for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because dude, I love having themes on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
I always cycle like around them and shit like that. But
no, I should pull the Resident Evil 0 one out again. That was a pretty cool one. So that one has like the Resident Evil 0 like save music that plays the whole time. Or like I had like the Final Fantasy 7 one, but it played like the most depressing Final Fantasy 7 song on there. So it was like, okay, I gotta switch this.
Nah, dude, the boss battle. They should have the boss battle theme.
Yeah, I know. Not like the sad Final Fantasy 7 thing, because I don't want to turn my PlayStation on and have like sad music play every single time.
Dude.
Anything but that.
I feel like I don't know. I got you. I'm trying to remember what came with the deluxe version. As opposed, I know you get the option to switch to. I think it was like a couple extra costumes for Leon and Claire between the standard and the deluxe version, and then there was you get the option to have the original soundtrack.
Oh, that's cool.
In the game,
I like those kind of features.
Yeah, so it's like you probably get it with yours too.
Yeah, because I think I bought the physical one.
Yeah, but you'll just have the option in game to probably use the original soundtrack if you want.
It's kind of cool just to have that.
No, dude, I'm so excited to have a Resident Evil game though that I can like, because like, don't get me wrong, 7 was good.
Well, 7. Here's the thing. I feel as a survival horror game, it's fine. As a Resident Evil game, it's kind of like, it's not really Resident Evil. That's the thing.
I at least wish they didn't make it a main Resident Evil.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. Totally. It was one of those many video game moments where it was somebody had a great idea at the office, and everybody else looked at him and went, you know, that ain't gonna sell. But if we put some Resident Evil over the top of it, there you go. Kind of like it reminds me like the same thing as Star Fox Adventures. Clearly, whoever was putting that game together at Rare had this Dino Princess adventure, and then Nintendo walked in and said, "That's fucking stupid. Here, put some Star Fox in there, and this will sell now." Because really, you play that game, it's like, there's Fox and, his crew, and the rest of the game is nothing Star Fox. Nothing. It's a completely different world, and that's how I felt like Resident Evil 7 is. It's really like, somebody had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre idea, and then they're like, let's make it Resident Evil 7, which it really should either should have just been a spin-off, and or it should have just been its own series.
Well,
but
I'm sure we'll get to this at some point, and we're going to have a huge... Resident Evil 7 was good as a game. I'm not a big fan of it as a Resident Evil game, like you were saying. So
that's right. Well, I
have a lot of negative things to say about it.
It only has like 2 moments of Resident Evilness in it. You know what I mean? Like the rest of it is, it just feels like a game that's just made by Capcom. It has like a similar, has similar like menu styles and things like that. But as I said, it's not as far as just a regular game. It was much more impressive than I thought it was, because I didn't think I was gonna like it. Because when I played that demo initially, I was like, no, this is not for me. I'm not gonna enjoy this game at all. By buying it anyway because it's Resident Evil.
I know.
And then I was actually kind of surprised when I did play it. But as far as Resident Evil goes, it was like, I don't know. It's like, see, my thing is, I always feel it's like, and Resident Evil does always have this problem where like they love to just like take the characters out like every single time and put some new character in there every single time, some new character.
I know, dude.
And it's just one of those ones like, no. At the end of the day, all I ever want to see is either Chris, Claire, Jill, Leon, Barry, Rebecca, Billy, like,
where the fuck is Billy? I know, dude.
Like, I don't want to see anybody else in there. It's like, because even in Resident Evil 6, whenever I think of like there's Helena and Pierre, and I'm like, all I think the whole time is that should be Jill and Claire.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, why we don't want Helena? Nobody cares about Helena. Nobody cares about Pierre. Like, we don't need. I don't know. There's some games just love to do the thing where they got to put a new character in like every single time. No. You got characters established.
I know.
You keep them in there.
I know.
Is anybody gonna play God of War if Kratos is not in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
Do you want to play Devil May Cry if you don't have Dante?
Yeah, dude, I was able to swallow most Resident Evil's new characters. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a big fan of them putting in new characters. But I mean, there have been a few, additions that were decent, but they were more like, I don't know.
Well, it's not that they're necessarily bad, it's just they're like unnecessary, because I just go, that should be this character. Or this should be, a lot of times it should be Jill. Like, where the hell? Jill is like very rarely ever in Resident Evil anymore.
I know.
She's always like sidelined.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I don't know. I just wish, I just want them to, I don't know, they need to bring Jill back, and I don't really like the way Jill went out in the last one. Not like went out, but I mean, like,
Wesker, like,
I just don't like,
converted
like the super Jill kind of thing, I just like, I like my classic Jill, you know? In the STARS uniform, in a mansion,
short hair,
shooting zombies.
Yeah,
being
the master of
the beret. But yeah, exactly. But dude, I need to play through Resident Evil 2 again soon, though. It's
Did you play through it recently?
Yeah, a couple months ago I played through it.
Yeah, I just went through it. It's like on the GameCube.
Sometimes I just get a hankering for a specific Resident Evil game. I just sit down and hammer through it real quick.
Yeah, well, that was nice too. So when I played through it, I was pretty impressed with my times. I'm like, beat Scenario B in like under 2.5 hours. I'm like, that's good for having played Scenario B in a while. I mean, granted, like Resident Evil, it's always funny. Like, I'll like come up to like that safe, like in like the police station, and it's like 2236. It's like, why do I remember this number? There's like, I never forget this number.
I know, with
or like the candles in the area. I mean, it's a simple thing, but it's like 231. Like, I know it already. It's like I don't have to even question it.
God, I forgot about those freaking parts.
It's just like that game is like, other than like, as I said, you might get turned around here and there, but you always know exactly where to go to next. It's almost like so ingrained in me that it's like, yep, I know where this all is. And even if I was watching all the cutscenes, and I guess the cutscenes obviously don't like add up time, probably. Because probably the GameCube's the only one you can skip them, so I think that doesn't make a difference.
No, I would imagine not. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I actually I looked at your time when you sent me your.
Yeah, I was like, I got the highest rank for because apparently in the US I learned this is that like the A rank's the high one, which you for some reason you get the S rank in Japan, but in the booklet they converted it over and they still said that you get the S rank, which that used to always throw me off as a kid too. I was like, what? Why can't I get this S rank? And I always thought that was like, oh, you can't use any health and you can't, use.
Wait. What? what?
The S rank.
The A rank's the highest?
Yeah, there's no S.
And all this time I thought I was fucking up.
That's what I
was like,
too.
where did I mess up in the goddamn game? I don't get my S rank.
I thought this the whole time too. I was like, God, why is Resident Evil 2 so hard to get that S rank in?
Because you can S rank Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, for some reason they just took it out of Resident Evil 2.
What
But
the hell?
in the US release, it's always kind of weird when there's these like region differences. Like this is another thing I always think is really weird. I think we talked about it with Resident Evil 1, but in Japan, Resident Evil's easier. Isn't that just like the weirdest thing? Because like every other game, you know, when they make Final Fantasy in Japan, they make it harder and they send the US the easier version. You know what I mean? Like back in the day. But they first, like, you know, their initial thought was like, well, Japanese people aren't good with like 3D. Like, what? Like they might have a harder time like adapting to it. Like they said that like I think it was like either Resident Evil 1 and or 2, but I think it was 1 that like they're like our testers can't beat Resident Evil like on the normal difficulty. Like,
oh my
what?
God, that's like, weird.
Yeah, you're in the testing room. I mean, come on, you guys are sharing ideas back and forth with each other.
I'm still tripping out that this whole time I've been getting the highest rank.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought too. Because I always just thought, like, I used to think that, like, boy, Resident Evil 2 is really hard to get that high rank.
Like, what the hell? They think because our grade school system has A as the highest rank, like we couldn't handle having the S. I know.
I don't know. That blew me away. It's just one of those weird things.
Well, no, I know.
And now knowing it, it's like, oh, God, that's interesting to
I did
find
not
out.
know. Yeah, thank you for bestowing this information upon me.
I know. I was really glad to find that out because I was like,
what the?
So long I've been shooting for that S rank, just never getting it. Just feeling shame every single time. And then once I realized that, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Guess a lot of
now I don't feel so bad about it.
Now I feel like I've accomplished quite a bit.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, I can usually power through Resident Evil in probably 2.5 hours.
I know, I just was still pretty darn. I mean, probably like if you watch the clock, it was probably much longer because I watched every cutscene. I'm like, I haven't watched these cutscenes in a while. I'm watching them all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Which they're all great. I don't care. Like Resident Evil 2, the cutscenes. You know, I mean, unless you're playing the game over and over, like in a row, like for the most part, it's like I always enjoy them. Just the dialogue's great, and I mean, like probably great. Like it's a nostalgia thing. You know what I mean? Like those lines are just quotable. You know where you were when you first heard them. It's like it almost just puts a smile on your face. Like that's just like the magic of like Resident Evil 2.
Damn straight, dude.
It's just like, you know, like nowadays too, even like in the very beginning part too, it's like I always just run past generally every zombie in there because it's like you know where they all are, so you don't even have to fight them. You know, if you want to, you can go visit Brad and go kill him and get your key.
Fuck you, Brad.
Just hanging out down there.
I know. I hardly ever do the Brad thing.
Yeah, well, because then the only downfall is, like, if you want to do the Brad thing, is you can't grab the shotgun or the bowgun right off the bat. You have to wait and grab it way later.
Yeah, see, that sucks.
And it's always, like, not worth it because of that.
I killed Brad once, just out of principle, just because I wanted to kill the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But, you know, I normally don't do that. It's just, like you said, it's just not worth it, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those ones. I mean, like...
It's like a one-time go.
Yeah, if you just want to see the costume. But I feel like Leon and Claire don't have nearly as cool costumes as, like, Jill and Chris had and everything.
I really hope the costumes are cool that they put into the remake.
I hope they're as cool as they were like in Resident Evil 0, on the remake or the remastered one on that one. Like I thought that was neat because like they put like Rebecca got a bunch of clothes. Like she had her outfit from Resident Evil 0 on the N64. I thought that was amazing.
Oh yeah.
And she had a couple other kind of interesting ones. I thought that was neat because it's weird how those little things like that like. It's kind of like in Resident Evil 3. Like, you got, like, 8 costumes you unlocked in that game. That's what I always thought was really cool. It's like, you got Jill, and then you got, like, original Jill, and you got Regina Jill from, like, Dino Crisis. And you got, like, Jill who had, like, a skirt, like, it looked like she was, like, working in a hospital in, like, Silent Hill Jill. And then you got... you got, like, the, Sarah Connor Jill. Or did you... Maybe that wasn't until, a remake. But whatever. There's a bunch of outfits in there. I know some of them are just kind of, like, slight variations in Resident Evil 3, but
dude.
But in 2, I always thought the costumes like you just get like Cowboy Claire or Cowgirl Claire and
trying to remember which costumes because it tells you
get like
what costumes.
Well, I guess this makes sense now because now I think about that like Leon was partying late last night, and then there's kind of like the like 90s like he's like ready to go to a Vanilla Ice concert, like Leon.
Fucking Leon.
He's got like a goofy costume in that one for the bonus. Like,
God, I can't remember. I know. Fuck. Trying to remember, dude. I remember thinking that the costumes that you got were hella cool too, but with like the deluxe edition.
Oh, with the new one.
Yeah.
We'll probably have cool. You'll probably get like Leon from like Resident Evil 4, and you'll probably get like Leon from like, other ones like that and so on.
I know. At first, I didn't know how I felt about how Leon looked in this remake. Obviously, I've at least seen.
Well, as long as they did, I'm just glad they didn't have the Resident Evil 7 graphics, because that's the only thing I didn't like. Because Resident Evil 7 had like the ultra realistic looking characters, which it sounds weird, but like when you're kind of used to a character's always having sort of like in a sense, an anime look. I know that's kind of an odd way to say it, but that's how they've always looked. They always had like a slight anime look, and then all of a sudden you finally got, when you see Chris at the very end, it always feels so uncanny in 7. It's just like, what? Why does he look so like? He needs to look more cartoony, like in a sense. It sounds weird to say cartoony, but they've always sort of had that Japanese look. And it's like, and then all of a sudden now it's starting to look like an American game. And
yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't know. Now I've come around about it. I didn't know how I felt about Claire either, but now I've come around.
Yeah, those ones they don't look too bad.
I've come around with both of them.
They could look like the George A. Romero like commercials for Resident Evil 2 that were shot in Japan, with like where Leon he doesn't really even look like Leon. Claire doesn't look bad though, but whoever they got for Leon was just like some kid off the street. Well, probably not off the street because they shot in Japan. So some kid they imported, and he's just like about like 16 or 14 years old. I don't know. And he's just got like shaggy hair, just like hanging over, like, "Whoa, what's up, I'm Leon?" Just looks like somebody who showed up for Halloween in a Leon costume.
I know, dude. But no, I've come around with the characters and how they look. They look good.
Yeah, no, I think they look totally fine because they went back to the original Japanese style look. None of this ultra realistic, American look.
I know. Stupid Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not. It's the game itself is fun, but just like that should be something else. You know what I mean? That could be that. You know what that could have been? That could have been Resident Evil Survivor 5. That's what it should have been. It should have been the Gun Survivor category.
Outbreak 3.
Yeah, why not? You know what I mean?
But I don't know, dude. I'm bummed I do have to work the next day after Resident Evil comes out, but that's okay. I'll suffer. I'm gonna stay up a little.
When Resident Evil 5 came out, that was the only time I got the game at midnight, and I beat the game by the time the sun was coming up.
I know. I don't know. I'm gonna play. I'll probably play it for a few hours the first night because I'll get it at 9:00.
Yeah, I got it on the internet, so I probably won't get it for like 3 days because it'll probably be a weekend when it comes out. I don't know why they release games on weekends nowadays, though. Because it's like, that doesn't help for shipping. Let's release it around the time when the post office is closed.
Did you got it through like Amazon?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they ship same day, right? Like the day it comes out. Sometimes.
If it's like a Tuesday, I have a chance of it getting if it's that release. But if they do like Nintendo's releases, they're on Fridays, and just a lot of other games I notice nowadays are starting to do the Friday release too.
I know.
The downfall there is that a lot of times it might not get to you until Saturday, because mostly.
Yeah, I know. I knew games were like Tuesday, Friday releases, but the only games I've ever really ordered through Amazon was Cameron. Like we would like order, I would just piggyback off his account, and I would just give him the money, and he would order a game. But
yeah,
sometimes it came same day.
Yeah,
though,
sometimes it'll come someday. Most of they always come about a day later. But if it comes on a Friday, a day later means you ain't getting it till Monday.
Maybe those were Tuesdays. Yeah, maybe those were Tuesdays. Though I don't know. I don't know exactly, but maybe you'll get it same day. Cross your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
I know.
But until then, we got Resident Evil 2 to hold me over. I could, oddly enough, it's like I almost feel like I could play that game over again. Maybe right now. I probably would rather just jump to another. So now I'm in like the survival horror mood. So now it's like, oh, what to go to next? You know what I mean? It's like you go down the line and just like that's what I love about those kind of games too, is that like they just don't take up so much time. There's something to be said about games that you pop them in and you can literally beat it in about a night or two, give or take, and boom, you're done. That's it. You know what I mean? You're not playing the game for like 3 weeks, every single day trying to get it through and still feeling like you're not making progress.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, dude. I don't know with like Resident Evil, but maybe that's just because we're us, dude. There's no way like someone who, not us is gonna just pop in a Resident Evil game, even if they played it once or twice back in the day and beat it in 2.5 hours.
Well, if you're not into survival horror games,
like I mean,
I notice a lot of those people are like they have a hard time going back to that style.
Don't get me wrong, it's like, I know a lot of people liked Resident Evil, but I don't know if anyone liked Resident Evil much like we liked Resident Evil as a group of friends.
Yeah, we're like the ultra obsessive with Resident Evil. Like still, like I look at Resident Evil, it's like nothing makes me more excited than playing a new Resident Evil game or an old Resident Evil game. You know what I mean? Like it's like whenever I go back to those games, I really think they almost get better with age in a weird way. Like I don't know, like I think the PlayStation is that system that has like that style of game in there. They have oddly aged better than you'd think, because there was that period where it's like, well, maybe those games aren't holding up nearly, not like Resident Evil, but like some of the other PlayStation games, not holding up nearly as well. But I don't know what it is. Like I go back to PlayStation 1 games all the time, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like no different than it was 20 years ago. Like I'm there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, especially with Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3.
They're so good. They always hold up. I don't care. Like they're always good. It's like to me they play super fluid. It's dialed in. I can still get scared every single time because there's always going to be something that comes around the corner that I forget about or I run into accidentally. Or, it's like the small things a lot of times will get you,
Yeah.
There'll always be that moment where, like, there's just something there.
Exactly. And Resident Evil 2 obviously always holds a place near and dear to my heart, dude.
Yeah. It's just going back to it. Just never go wrong, It's just one of those ones. Like, as I said, I like Resident Evil 1 and 3 just that little bit more, but Resident Evil 2 is like the ultimate solid classic of like a sequel game,
Yeah.
You get the game, get both discs, which I remember back in the day, the cool thing about that is you could almost like literally get the game and split it with your friend and swap the disc back and forth. Yeah. Like it was like the perfect game that was made to be played with two people at the same time.
I know, dude. First Resident Evil game I think about every time I look at my tattoos too, because you get the cop zombies right on top.
Yep, you got the two artwork.
It's like right in my face all the time.
You know what I was thinking though when I was playing Resident Evil 2, and I thought about this before throughout time, but I'd love to see someone go back and make this as picture like a Resident Evil game, whether it be let's say 1 or 2 or something like that, or even 0 or one of those ones, but like have it be full on co-op. So it's same style. It's still like the let's just use Resident Evil 1 for example, because that's just an easy one to explain. One person plays as Jill, one person plays as Chris. It's still like, classic, tank controls, pre-rendered backgrounds, camera angles. But instead it's like you each have your own, your own screen, and the whole thing is like you could almost like you could stay together and work your way through. You could split up like they say to do and go get different puzzles and break. Like I just think that'd be such a cool like, because I've never seen a game that plays in that style, like the survival horror classic style, that's co-op. Because the co-op didn't come until 5 and 6, and by that point, they were more like linear. You weren't like running around like a mansion or so on like that. And once, generally you're sticking together. You weren't splitting up. It'd be just so cool. Just like I just picture like Resident Evil 1 or even Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 would
be you split off, and then you come back and you meet in the,
It would be such a cool thing in Resident Evil 2, because like you said, you can split off in the beginning when the wreck first happens, Someone plays the first part of scenario B, someone plays the first part of scenario A. You end up meeting up, and then let's say the first time you meet up, you can exchange whatever you want.
Yeah, you exchange your items,
if you want to change, you're not limited, and then you exchange. And say you have to continue on, but then it'd be better if they made like some parts in the game to where you actually had to co-op together. Yeah. But then you split up again, come back together for like, maybe like, a little
Or
while.
even just have it like, you could either run together if you want, or you could sort of split up if you want to like speed run it. You know what I mean? Because that's what I thought too, is like, think about speed running. Like take Resident Evil 1, for example. If you had, okay, I'm going to go get these two like, not stones, but the circular devices that you get, that the moon, the crest.
Oh,
there we go, the crest. That's like, what do you call those things? No, like like I'm gonna go get these two crests, you go get these two crests, and just like I don't know, just the idea of like speed running them and like you'd have to kind of like tweak the game a little bit so that it'd work.
Yeah, because some of those things you can't get unless you do certain things first and crap like that.
Yeah, I mean you still have to do it like that, but just the idea that you could almost kind of like tag team these events, and then bosses come together. I just feel like I always thought that was so cool, and it's like Zero's almost set up that it could have been that game. You know what I mean? Like that game just feels like you should be able to plug in a second controller and have that game go split screen, or even just plug 2 GameCubes in together.
Yeah.
And just imagine, because that game's almost made. Like I feel like it actually has the potential that somebody could be Billy, somebody could be Rebecca, and then you could work together, split up when need be.
Exactly.
It would just be such a cool like.
Oh.
Such a cool concept, and it's just like, I don't know why nobody ever did that back then. I mean, granted, probably was like a computing power and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know, dude. They could release like some sort of co-op DLC for Resident Evil 2. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know if will the new Resident Evil have co-op in it? Probably not.
I don't think so, but I mean,
seems like they've kind of
cool.
They probably derived from it because really 5 and 6. Because that's one thing people always talk about, like 5 and 6. They're like, they're so much different than 4. I'm like, well, really, the thing that separates it is the co-op. I mean, that changes it. Because I will say, like, the thing is, it's that classic thing that when you're alone, everything's scary. The second you got your buddy standing next to you, it's not so bad then. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. When you got your buddy standing right next to you, like, the scary level definitely drops.
Yeah.
Not saying it can't be scary, but
yeah, well, I mean,
I think because there's not that immediate fear of death.
Oh yeah, because when someone grabs you,
yeah, get over here, and just like kick them off. Like, there we go.
Run and help you. But I don't know, dude. I mean, everything I've seen on Resident Evil 2 looks great, and I have really high expectations. But I hope that doesn't screw me over.
Yeah, well, other than Resident Evil 7, I feel like I've never really been let down by Resident Evil. I'm not gonna count things like. Because even like Survivor, like was one of those ones like
I don't count Survivor.
I don't count.
I enjoyed Survivor enough.
Like I enjoyed that. Like it didn't really let me down. Actually, I've been having a hankering to play that one again.
I don't know, dude. I mean, you know me.
But you know what I realized? I didn't know this back then. You could hook up a light gun to a Survivor. I knew you could do Gun Survivor 2, but I didn't know you could do that or to the original one.
That would be cool.
Because I feel like that might be a game changer for that gun. It might be kind of an interesting way to go back.
Good old Survivor, dude. I know, dude. I don't know. I just hope they stick true to everything story-wise. I hope they treat it like one and just add some things.
Yeah.
Maybe add another boss or two.
A couple extra rooms.
A few enemies, rooms, a few more notes.
A couple things to keep it fresh.
A couple little side stories in the notes and crap like that. You know, maybe a couple of extra items, a couple extra puzzles like Resident Evil 1.
Yeah.
And then just leave the rest alone.
Yeah, don't
leave the main part of the game alone.
Don't do the Final Fantasy VII thing. Because when I look at that remake, I go, well, that's a remake not made for Final Fantasy VII fans. That's made for a brand new audience who just never wanted, who always liked the idea of playing Final Fantasy VII, but never were going to get around to doing it. That's when I see that trailer. That's all I see. It's like this is definitely trying to be made for somebody else. This is like Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy VII fans.
I know, dude. I know. I don't even like Kingdom Hearts, so whatever.
I never get into that.
Yeah, me neither. Oh my god, I met someone else. Awesome.
I tried even too. Like I thought I was gonna do it. I was like, nope. You know what?
It's just hard for me. And I mean, I get a lot of hate for it, but it's just
people just I don't know what it is.
A lot of people like Kingdom Hearts. I'm surprised actually.
Well, it's everybody younger than us that seems to, because I know people like at our age and above generally like we were still at that like standoffish towards the Kingdom Hearts when it came out.
I don't know, dude. It's hard for me to get into the. It's the Mickey Mouse, the Donald.
Mickey Mouse by himself. Like, you have like that. There's like that Sega Genesis, like Mickey Mouse's like World of Illusions game. Fine, it's all Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Game's fun. That's perfect. But like, don't try to combine that with my Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know. And I really enjoyed the Mickey Mouse circus type game on Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
there was one. Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun.
And that's fun because you're going in just for Mickey. That's
like you said. Don't try to combine that with like my Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's too weird.
Like, come on.
It doesn't mix well.
And I just don't know, dude.
I always like what Dunnigan said. He's like, imagine it this way. What if instead of Disney characters, it was Nintendo? And it was Final Fantasy mixed in with Nintendo World. I'm like, that sounds fucking amazing. That's what it should have been. It should have been, because that sounds like that would have been a perfect GameCube game. Instead of going to like all the weird Disney like worlds, instead you'd be going to like like Mario Land, and you could go into like Zelda World, and
it makes more sense. Yeah, because they're all video games.
Yeah, it would be a cool mix match because now you're like, oh, you're gonna combine Final Fantasy with like in a sense Smash Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? You know, but
it'd be like Smash Bros with the story kind of thing, But,
yeah. But Kingdom Hearts comes out the same time as Resident Evil, the remake for some reason. Yeah, not the game I'm getting, I'll tell you that.
Shit, I know. Dude, like I said, I'm hoping to get a few hours in that first night. I'll probably realistically be up till like 11 or 12, then I'll probably pass out because I get up at 4:30 to work. But
too early, yeah. I can't wait for that one.
I know, dude. And
then whatever else.
The cool thing about it coming out on the weekend, though, is that then I have the whole weekend to play it,
Yeah, there you go.
So I know. I'd invite you over, but I don't think you want to come over and see any of it before you get it.
Yeah, I'll probably just wait.
But if you feel like coming over,
if I do feel like coming over, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to come check it out for a little bit. But yeah, I just didn't think you'd want to. You've gone this long without seeing it. It'd be a shame to spoil it the last weekend.
I don't need to see anything. I know even when I was looking up stuff like for cool Resident Evil 2 facts, it's like, yeah, it's hard to find Resident Evil 2 stuff now because everything comes up as a remake. If you want to look for the original game, it's like almost like disappearing.
I know.
But yeah, I think on our next episode we should do Resident Evil 1.5, and since it all ties into Resident Evil 2, it's the other version of Resident Evil 2.
It'd be fitting.
Go with that one next, and then after that point, we'll have our Resident Evil 2 and figure out another classic survival horror game past that point to go back to and or start for the first time.
Yeah, good times.
But that's probably a good old place to wrap it up at. You can always check out more good fun stuff at oldmanorange.com. Support the podcast with, we'll put a link to like Resident Evil 2, the remake, and anything else kind of Resident Evil 2 oriented in the description area. Won't cost you any extra, but, gives a little support this way. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm RJ.
We'll see you some other time.